Alright, it's Friday once again. Welcome to the Fry Game, and each week I've been bringing you a new social game to add to the social game network vault. But this week I'm going to talk about actually playing instead of competing, and there's a huge difference, okay? And most people think that the competition is what makes you have fun, right? By competing for the win, you're going to have fun. That's actually not true. The truth is, being in play makes it fun. Dr. Brene Brown uses bears that are wrestling to illustrate the difference, okay? So if two bears are wrestling and one of them actually handicaps themselves in order to extend play, that's called being in play, right? So if a bear's winning and he's beating the other bear, he'll actually handicap himself, make himself weaker in order to give the other bear an upper hand, right? And then it'll extend play for longer. Whereas if they're competing, he will defeat him, push him to the ground, viciously kind of attack him until he's done. He just wants that situation to just be over and he just wants to win, right? Now that difference is huge, especially when you're just playing a board game or you're playing a social game that's supposed to be fun with everyone and you're in like deep competition mode. You have to know how to step out of that and go into play, where losing and winning isn't the goal. The goal is to find ways to make that score as close as possible, okay? Now, the goal isn't to find a winner and award them this glory for their greatness, right? The goal of playing a game is for the bond and social dynamic formed with play, right? So it's not about the greatness that comes from getting that W, okay? Because you're not competing to be in the best in the world, you're just playing some games with some friends. And I think people, tend to mix that up, because I've played with a lot of people that are, great to play with, but at the end of the day, they're so pissed when they lose. Like, they're just completely over the top angry with themselves, and they couldn't believe that they made that move. And, it's like they're strategically planning a war, right? Like, that's not what's going down here. We're just having some social interactive fun, so you have to keep that in mind. And if you do find yourself not having a good time and you're just, struggling and you're just angry, you have to take a step back, step out of that game, because you're not adding value to that game. So step out, come back in, take a deep breath, realize that you're not playing for anything important, you're not going to get any award, there's nothing going on, and come back in and zone in next play. Just stay in that next play mentality where that next play is coming up, right? Shout out to Chris for that. And one thing you can do today to improve your play quality is, if someone doesn't set a rule and people start arguing about a certain rule because it could have been this and it could have been that, and then you check the rule and you realize, oh no, that doesn't count, or you're making a new rule, what you want to do is award the benefit of the doubt, give the player that found the rule the point, okay? So like, okay, you found a new rule, you're a rule establisher, you get a point, right? But from now on, that rule doesn't count. Like, from now on, you can't do that, okay? That's like an illegal move or whatever it may be, right? Because sometimes someone might have found something that kind of ruins the game if everyone did it, right? So what you do is you say, okay, you keep the point, but from now on, it's not allowed. Everyone will agree, and you'll just move on super quick, and you'll stay in play, and you'll get to that next play, right? And that's where you want to be. You don't want to be arguing about rules, arguing over points. I mean, we play categories, and everyone's arguing over points, and it's kind of fun, right? It's not a big deal. You don't want to sabotage it, but at the end of it, no one's even counting points. Like, we really didn't even count points at all, and we had a great time, right? So this works with board games. This works with, playground games. You're outside playing pickup, whatever it is, right? It's like, oh, that doesn't count, whatever. Just count 1 point, like ease up on it, you know what I mean? Handicap yourself a little bit. It's not a big deal for the extension of the game, right? You don't want to just keep sabotaging the game with random rules and random problems and all this other stuff, right? And one of the most important things to always remember is to always allow for creativity, and don't shut people down if they come up with a new way to play, or they come up with this weird game and you're like, oh, I gotta think about new rules. That's weird. No, I don't want to do that. Don't do that, all right? Like, if someone suggests something new, be like, let's try it. You know what I mean? Like, you should just be there kind of open and focused out. Don't like be focused on how it's supposed to be and how it should be and all that. Just go into play and allow yourself to soften into that, right? So don't rush the play, you know what I mean? Because the play is actually in the boredom. You have to soften yourself into the boredom, and that's why I say stay bored, right? So soften yourself into that boredom, allow whatever to happen, just be present and just allow whatever to go down, okay? Now subscribe and you'll get some more of these game videos, and these games are really dope, so I hope you're watching them. And if not, hit the bell so you can see next week's video. I'm out.